Hi guys, Ian Johnson from DriveSuccess.com. Today I want to talk to you guys about some essential negotiation tips for procurement in terms of purchasing managers, procurement professionals, warehouse employees, inventory managers. And what I'm doing today is I'm basically doing it from the mindset of having been a salesperson. And I want to discuss the best strategies that have worked against me. And I've worked in sales and marketing for 20 years. I've done a lot of different consulting projects, and I've done supply chain management consulting projects where I've helped companies identify the ideal supply chain based on their customers, their markets, the types of products they're offering, and everything else. So I have a lot of experience in this, but what I want to focus on today is I want to focus on 5 essential tips that I see the best negotiation people use in terms of how they go about purchasing things from me as a salesperson. Okay? So the first thing I want to talk to you about is I want you to stop, or I want you to avoid broadcasting your needs too soon in the process. Okay? So I want you to avoid tipping your hand. Okay? So this is stop broadcasting your needs. And what do I mean by this? Essentially what I mean is a lot of times in negotiation, the individuals that kind of tip their hand too soon in the process allow people like me advance warning in order to be better prepared in terms of how I process the negotiation. What I want you to do is I want you to stop mentioning things too soon in the process that you see as critical to moving forward. What I want you to do is I want you to save those to the end. So you're going to do your typical negotiation in terms of pricing. Well, this vendor is offering this and that vendor is offering that, or you don't mention the vendor's name, but you're saying, you know, we're seeing this price in the market. Once you nail down a price with your vendor and you're happy with it, okay, once your vendor says, here's the final price, okay, this is the final price we're offering, then you start asking for those things that you need. Hey, okay, so this is the final price. What about prepayment? What if we prepay? What if we pay up front? Will you give us a discount? What if we pay within 10 days? Okay? Will you give us 1 to 2% off if we prepay? Will you give us 3% off? Okay? Will you give us 5% off? What if we purchase a higher volume? What if we commit to a higher volume? So what I'm trying to do here is I want you to basically wait until that final price. Do your standard negotiation in terms of this is what we're seeing. Wait until they give you that final price, and then start to hit these things that you can use to narrow or reduce that price down even further. Okay? Focus on that strategy. The second thing I want you to do is I want you to avoid veiled threats. Now, what do I mean by veiled threats? These are fake threats. Okay? When I get on the phone with a corporate buyer who is constantly screaming or yelling or basically, you know, boasting about how they're going to take their business elsewhere and they never do, I can't take it seriously. So avoid using veiled threats. If you're going to use a threat, then basically, you know, follow through with some kinds of consequence. But don't start using all kinds of veiled threats that have no meaning, because guys like me, I know when you're playing a game, and I know exactly when you're serious and when you're not serious, so don't do it, okay? The third thing I want you to do is I want you to match, I want you to match a concession for a concession in negotiation. Now, a concession is essentially these things up here, okay? These are your concessions. I want you to focus on high value concession for a high value concession. Okay? So if your customer, if the salesperson you're buying from says, okay, well, you know, I can give you 1% whatever, and they come back and say, but you'll have to buy a higher volume. I want you to follow up that high value concession request of higher volume with one of equal value. I want you to focus as much as possible on trading a high value request from your salesperson with a high value request of your own.